convert the size into standard effort. So that's where, I mean, we were using simple tools before, simple kind of formulae before. And that is effort is equal to size divided by productivity, something like that. So it's easy for us to actually, kind of come up with this kind of thing. So you can clearly say that, for example, if some painter takes 1 hour for painting one wall, it's easy for you to know that if one room has got obviously 4 walls and, for example, a similar sized ceiling or roof, you would have, let's say, 4 times that. You've got 4 of them plus 1, 5. So 5 hours per room is rough estimate, right, for one coat. So you actually have, let's say, you've got 2 bedrooms, 2 times 5, 10, and then you've got, let's say, a hall slightly bigger. Let's take some of the other things into consideration, slightly bigger. So add another 2-3 hours there. So you've got 10 plus, 17 for the including hall, and then a kitchen. Yeah, rough estimate again. So another 5. So 22 is roughly for a small house with 2 bedrooms, 1 hall, and a kitchen. But is that as simple as that for a website? Could be. Why not? It could be just I've got a home page. I need 2 inner pages, and I have got 1 registration form to fill, and then maybe 1 login form, for example. If this is the kind of thing that you're talking about, then you have a rough measure there already, right? So you've got a home page. So we talk about in the context of a house, we're talking about a bedroom, kitchen, and a hall. In the context of a website, it could be a home page. It could be what we call as a list view. So you actually have some of the list grid view or a list view where you actually kind of show the information in records. And then you can have a form view where you actually enter the details, input, user input, UI. So that's a form where something like a registration form or something like a login where you actually input something, enter something, the user. So that's a form view. So if you say roughly a website having 1 home page, 3 form views, and 4 list views, and perhaps 2 or 3 detail pages where you show the detailing in the form of the data is shown in the detail, where you can't enter anything, but you just have the details, all of the 2-3 images here and there, some text, and maybe some other video or something like that. So that's roughly, you've got an idea that it has got 10 pages. Each page has got different complexity. So you can multiply that, and then you can come up with a rough estimate again. So you're actually trying to convert that into the size. From the size, you actually can convert that into an effort using the productivity. You can then say a developer could actually kind of churn out, let's say, 3 pages per day of average size. So you can actually have that as a productivity figure, and then you actually have the effort coming in from there. And then adjust efforts for schedule constraints. So once you have got the effort, then you actually have the schedule. So sometimes you have no idea. It might be taking 6 months, 9 months. So that's where you need to take a break to actually kind of understand what is the timeline imposed by the client. So sometimes it could be like, in the next 3 months, I would like to have this feature. Don't worry about everything else about the website, but you know what? I need to have by April 2021, I want to have at least a catalog, and I should have at least functionality to do the shopping cart, so that you can add the items into this. Just focus on this. If you can do this, that's fair enough, is what the client would say. So the business, that's the business timeline. There's a business imposed restriction. So you come back and you work backwards. So given those 2 functionality epics, how can you kind of get into details of those, and then you create the overall plan for that, the stories, and from there on, story points, estimates, the tasks, the database requirement, the user interface requirement. If it's a registration, login page should be there, registration page should be there. There should be a page where it shows the number of items, and you should be able to change it. So that's the input, that's a form view. So you should have a shopping cart as a form view. So you can have a rough idea in terms of how we're going to proceed with that. So again, very important for you to understand that sizing is the most important, and then comes the productivity, effort, from there the number of resources, schedule, and finally the cost.